For a more immersive experience, I recommend you wear headphones for this podcast. Have you heard of the liminal spaces? They are, by definition, the spaces between one destination to the next. A threshold to something else. A doorway, or an old highway, perhaps a lone gas station. The type of place that appears in a traveler's 11th hour, somewhere to pass through before continuing on your way. Time can be liminal. That space between witching hour and dawn. The air is thin and stars are dimmed as though strangled by the darkness. The world feels just slightly off kilter. Everything is veiled. It's neither yesterday nor tomorrow. And it's like the world is holding its breath, waiting. It's in those moments and in those places that the walls of our plane of existence bend ever so slightly. And the things that are usually behind the veil of our reality are able to push against it. Those are the times that strange and unexplainable things can happen. But this isn't just a story about liminal times and spaces, or even the monsters and ghosts that lurk in them. It's about the people who work there, like the graveyard shift employee at a lone gas station on Old Highway 5. It's about how taking that job at the tender age of 18 changed the course of my life forever. Here's the thing about working the overnights. The hours are seemingly endless, and it helps to have a hobby to pass the time. I learned that quickly when I first took this job. So my hobby was writing down all the spooky stuff I thought up or witnessed while on shift in a notebook. I ended up showing my boss because he was a pretty cool guy and he gave me his daughter's old laptop so I could try recording my stories. I didn't even have a real mic at first, but I started doing live streams and talking to other people about it. And what do you know? People really liked my stories and my hobby started to grow into something more. I decided to try and create a podcast. This is a story about me. And it's a story about you too. And the ghosts and monsters that haunt us all. My name is Carol Green. Welcome to Mil-liminal. Episode 0, in which I wonder how the heck I even got here. Okay, now that we've got the dramatics out of the way, like I said, my name's Carol. You don't know me, and honestly, for now, I prefer it that way. We all have secrets to keep after all. Right now, I'll just be a mystery. A name. A voice in your headphones. Of course, I've already told you I work at a gas station, but what does that mean exactly? I don't think you can really grasp what the overnight shift is like unless you've actually experienced it. It was new for me when I took this job not that long ago. So maybe I can help you kind of put yourself into my sneakers. Close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath. Now picture a highway. It's an old one and the pavement is cracked. It's just a 2-laner. You got it? All right. Now imagine there's a forest on either side. Not just any forest, but thick, endless pine woods that go on for miles. It's a straightaway here. And in the distance, you can see a mountain peak rising above the highway, somewhere off the horizon. That's Rainier. Beautiful, picturesque scene of Americana. Serene, even. Now make it dark. There's no street lamps or anything, and there's rarely a clear sky. Clouds block out moonlight and stars. The fog is like a thick curling carpet, or a living thing, moving lazily across faded blacktop. Trees are looming, mysterious. and the gaps between them are blacker than any darkness you've ever seen. There's a single source of light, a tiny convenience store in the middle of nowhere. This is the old highway, and the gas station has been here since it was the new highway a long time ago. It's a gas co, and its inviting neon pinks and purples with its bright white illumination is cut short by the darkness. It can't extend much past the corners of the parking lot, an oasis in the inky black. It's a lonely place. Sometimes it feels like time doesn't pass here at all. Gas stations and truck stops are like that, literally timeless, because when you walk in from the deep dark outside, you suddenly find yourself in a brightly lit place, the hum of the fluorescent lights and soda fridges drowning out tinkling music on the overhead. It's an uncanny place where time doesn't exist. It would be the same if you were here at 4:30 in the afternoon or 4:30 in the morning, a bored employee with glassy, vacant eyes, not even bothering to put on a smile. The same loop of existence, over and over, one traveler at a time. That's where I come in. So what makes me so special? Well, nothing really, except that I'm a witness. I see things. I've always seen things, and I don't really know what that means. I don't even know what to tell you the things I see are. Growing up, I thought they were ghosts, and maybe some of them were. It didn't happen all the time. It's not like I was walking down the street and seeing hundreds of thousands of dead people from centuries past, but still, they were there, sometimes like an old film playing back, sepia tones like they'd been drained of color, flickering, hard to focus on, like I'd forgotten my glasses. They were nothing more than faded memories. Maybe that's what they were. Other times, they were creatures, things I can't describe, paralysis demons come to life. They'd scare me to death, the stuff of nightmares, and they seemed more aware, like they could see me too. I would sneak out of my room and climb into my neighbor's window until their screaming stopped. He never saw anything, though. Never really met anyone else who did. Happens more now, since I took this job a year ago. I think to some degree all night shift employees see something. Your mind has the chance to run away with you when you're all by yourself for hours in the dead of night. I think there's some kind of reason no one else wants to work this shift. The turnover rate was bonkers before I got here. But I don't think my mind is running away with me. Not then when I was a kid, and not now. One thing I know, though, for sure, at the gas station, the experiences happen more. That's not to say it's haunted. I think haunting means you've got like permanent ghosts or something. Like the same guys, Hat Man and Lady in White taking up residence. But here, well, I see all kinds of things. There's a guy who shows up once a month asking for directions, but he can't remember where he's going. And shadows that bleed in on the corners of the parking lot that look alive. They look like they're reaching for something, but the neons of the lighted signs keep them at bay. Cars that look like someone pulled them out of a lake. An old Volvo station wagon covered with algae and slime. It cruises slowly around the pumps and disappears into the fog like some kind of possessed Stephen King thing. I worry about my poor little Dotson out there. Oh, and the bugs. No one ever tells you about the bugs. I know I'm in the woods, but locusts as long as my forearm with a few too many eyes. I mean, I'm a little guy, but still. It's just unreasonable. Rein it in, nature. That being said, even though it happens a lot more out here, it's different somehow. It's more like an interactive film than it used to be. Sometimes what I see sees me too, but they don't come for me the way it felt like they did when I was little. Like there's a sheet of plexiglass between us, bulletproof. Maybe it's because I'm older now, more reasonable. But anyone who knows me to any degree will tell you that Carol Green is decidedly unreasonable. Anyway, I guess that's why I haven't quit yet, 'cause I'm safe here, for some unknown reason, and who knows if I would be anywhere else. I don't think the building is haunted, as I've said. I think it's me. And maybe the building is what keeps me safe. Can structures care like that? To some degree, I'd like to think so. After all, a haunted house holds on to its occupants for some reason or another, keeping the familiar close. So for now, staying here in the familiar is what I'll do. So why, Carol, are you going to make a podcast about it? No one's going to believe you. This kind of thing doesn't happen to a crazy degree like you claim. Well, sure, but it happens to me. And who cares if you don't believe me? It doesn't mean you still can't appreciate what I've got to tell you. Besides, if something did happen, if one day my boss drove to work and where there used to be a gas station was just an empty parking lot with no sign that a building ever even existed, well, I guess I just want someone to know. I'd rather be an internet conspiracy theory than no one at all. This is the start of something. I don't know what yet, but I think we're going to have an interesting time, you and me. I'm a seer, a witness, and I work at a gas station in the middle of nowhere, the graveyard shift. I'll tell you the stories of the strange things that pass through here, and I'll teach you the rules of the in-between places. Maybe you'll learn a little something about yourself, too. So this is Caro, signing off. Until next time, be nice to your local midnight employee. Retail is a nightmare. Thanks for joining me for Mil-liminal's introduction episode. I am hoping to start off with a bi-weekly schedule, so be sure to follow social media or subscribe for updates. Want to know more now? This podcast is actually based on a webcomic, and you can read it right now for free on Tapas and Webtoon. Search for Mil-liminal, a horror romance about me, Caro, my podcast, and my desperate attempt to win a grouchy barista's heart. Or for Seemingly Dark, a long-running supernatural comic full of ghosts, mysteries, and of course I'm there too. Follow the creator, Raptor Jules, on Instagram or Twitter, or follow Seemingly Dark on Tumblr. Logo and music design is by SnakePixel on Twitter. A special shout out and thanks to my Patreons, and hopefully I'll see you soon.